In this segment, we're going to use the Bon Appetit Slice Design Card to create home decor. We are going to use a layering technique to create these frames that can be put in a kitchen or any other room in your home. And we are going to use the Bon Appetit card. So let's get started. The first step is I'm using some red paper, and again we're using the Bon Appetit card. So I'm going to find my design, going to start with the red pepper, and we are going to use 3.5 inches as the size. So we're going to select that and we're going to let that cut. I'm using the hands-free kit, which I love because then you don't have to hang on. When the cutting is complete, you can remove your slice to see the shape. This is the red pepper again in the 3.5 inch size. So I'm going to set this aside and then we're going to do the shadow as part of this to layer. So I'll set that aside. I'm going to use my spatula to clear my mat, and then I'm going to use white cardstock as the shadow. So we're going to set that down, set my slice down, and the only thing you need to do, since we're still cutting the 3.5 inch pepper, is move to the shadow by using the single arrow button. The double arrow button, excuse me. So to move to the shadow, again, we'll use the double arrows. And then we're going to select that since we're using the same size, and then we'll let that cut. Once the cutting is complete, I'm going to remove the slice. You have your shadow piece that we will use to layer. And I'll show you how I did that in a second. We're going to keep cutting. We're going to use some brown cardstock and a word to cut the word favorite. So I'm going to set my slice down, select the menu key, and then we're going to go to our word selection, and we have favorite. So again, to go back to the normal mode, we're going to press the double arrows until we see normal. And then I'm going to select that and let it cut. So the cutting is complete. I'll remove my slice, and I'll use my spatula to remove the word. So that's all the pieces for one of the frames, and you're going to duplicate that with different words and different vegetables or fruit or whatever you want from the design card. And now we can go ahead and assemble them. To do that, I'm going to move my slice mat. So we're just working with our die cut pieces. I like to chalk the edges of the shadow just so that it sticks out a little bit more. And you can use any color that you want, and you're just going to chalk a little bit around the edges, again just to make it pop when you put it on your frame. I just got some inexpensive frames. If you want to paint them to match the color of the room that you're going to put it in, you can do that, or you can use just regular brown frames, but frames are really inexpensive, so it's a easy way to decorate. So I have my shadow piece, and then I have my die cut piece. I'm going to use some foam squares to adhere that to my shadow piece. I like these foam squares because they add some dimension, which makes the layering pop a little bit more. So we'll stick that down, and as you can see, you can kind of see the layering or the shadow behind it. It just gives it, again, that three-dimensional look. And then from here you can put it on the frame. So I have my frame here that's finished, and all I've done is taken some white cardstock and I've put that in the frame, and then I've taken some craft paper. You can use the pattern side or you can use the plain side, and you're going to put that on. You can see just a tiny bit of this white. You're going to stick your die cuts down, and I added a little tiny piece of ribbon. And another thing, if you don't want to stitch, you can stitch this with the sewing machine before you put it in your frame. Or this was actually done just using a brown pen with a zigzag line, so you can do that also. So again, this is the frame, and I've done 2 other frames to put in the kitchen with different words and different vegetables.